Alright, good morning Bio 1 students and welcome to our CO1 video lecture series. So we are now at the subcellular structures and organelles. So ito yung mga common structures or basic structures na similar in both prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So you have to remember the acronym CPRD, and that is of course cytoplasm, plasma membrane, ribosomes, and DNA or genetic material. Okay, so ulitin natin, cytoplasm, plasma membrane, ribosomes, genetic material, or DNA. So CPRD. Alright, so tignan muna natin, no, ano ba tong cytoplasm? What is the cytoplasm? So we can compare the cell to a big house. Okay, and the cytoplasm is like the floor of the cell. Bakit? Mamaya. Tignan muna natin to. No? Let's define what is the cytoplasm, also called cytosol, a region enclosed by the plasma membrane. It's a jelly-like mixture of water, sugars, ions, and proteins with all cellular components inside cell. Within their cytoplasm, some cells have membrane-bound organelles or compartments that carry out specialized function. One primary function of cytoplasm is the site where the synthesis and breakdown of molecules occur. So bakit naging floor yung cytoplasm? Simple lang, no? Kasi nga cytoplasm holds all organelles in place, and this is where the organelles are floating or attached. Parang yung floor ng bahay. Okay? Dito uh, attach in place yung mga gamit natin. Well, anyway, let's move forward to the function. I said earlier, place where the synthesis and breakdown of molecules occur. So kung naalala nyo pa, yung cell respiration, first stage nun is glycolysis, wherein i-break down yung glucose into 2-pyruvate molecule and then an ATP. But that's another story. Okay? So that is the cytoplasm. So if we take a look at the image on your screen, you could see that the cytoplasm is the one that is colored yellow, both in the animal and plant cell. Okay? So protected ang cytoplasm ng plasma membrane. Alright? So the cytoplasm or the cytosol. So again, both prokaryotes and eukaryotes have a cytoplasm. Alright? So we move forward to the genetic material or the DNA. Alright, so titignan muna natin no, yung location ng DNA or genetic material between the prokaryotes and the eukaryotes. So sa prokaryotes, the DNA is contained in circular molecule found near the center of the cell called the nucleoid. So in other words, ang genetic material or DNA ng mga prokaryotes are arranged in a circular manner and it's found near the center of the cell and in the nucleoid. Hindi yan nucleus ha. Magkaiba yan. Okay? So ang DNA ng mga prokaryotes nasa nucleoid. Whereas in the eukaryotes are contain DNA organized into linear chromosomes segregated into a nucleus that is surrounded by a nuclear envelope. In other words, sa mga eukaryotes naman, the DNA is found in the nuclear envelope or in the nucleus. Okay? Arranged in a linear manner called chromosomes. And we'll get to that in a while. Now, speaking of the other components of the DNA, we could see here in this next slide the genetic material, no? It's composed of the genome, gene, and the DNA. So, i-define muna natin ano ba ang genome. The genome is the entire complement of its genetic material. Okay? Which is in turn yung chromosome. So alam naman natin, as a human being, we have 46 chromosomes. Okay? 23 pairs coming from our mother and the other 23 pairs coming from our father. Now we also have the gene or found within each species genome, which contains the information to produce thousands of different proteins, which are largely responsible for determining the cell structure and function. Ano ba yung gene? Not the GEANS, genes yun. But the gene is a section of a DNA that codes for traits, responsible for controlling the traits. Kaya kung ano man ang magiging height mo, personality mo, okay, hair color, eye color, skin color, yung orientation ng nose bridge, and so on, ay dahil yan sa genes. And then of course, each gene is made up of DNA, which stores genetic information containing instructions in the blueprint of life. In other words, the DNA is like a storage device which contains app. Okay? So, ang DNA, pwede natin siyang i-compare sa isang SD card or flash drive na may mga lamang apps pertaining to life. But overall, we could use an analogy, no, wherein the genome is like the house and then the gene is like the rooms of the house, yung living room, dining area, bathroom, kitchen, and then the materials used to build the house, that is of course pertaining to the or referring to the DNA. Kaya yung hollow blocks, okay? So, deoxyribonucleic acid or the genetic material of the cell made up of proteins, carbohydrates, okay, nucleic acids, and of course, base pairs. Adenine pairing up with thymine, and then cytosine pairing up with guanine. Alright, so let's now proceed to the ribosome. Okay, define muna natin, no? So ribosomes are sites of protein synthesis within cells. They are consist of two subunits made up of rRNA or ribosomal RNA and protein, as well, which is the small subunit and large subunit. The ribosome also interacts with messenger RNA and transfer RNA to synthesize or to make proteins. Now, in eukaryotes, the subunits are assembled in the nucleus of the cell, and the subunits come together in the cell cytoplasm to form the ribosome. All right, so let's break them down all together, no? So we could compare the ribosomes to a kitchen, a large kitchen. Bakit? Kasi sa kitchen niluluto yung mga pagkain. Similarly, sa ribosomes, generate or sinesynthesize yung protein. And sa mga eukaryotes, tayo, ina-assemble ang ribosomes sa nucleus. And then, they come together, okay, in the cytoplasm. Okay, kumbaga nagpo-fusion yung small subunit and large subunit to form the ribosome. Okay? So ribosomes or the protein synthesis site or site of protein synthesis. All right, so let's compare and contrast, no, yung ribosomes sa prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Ribosomes in prokaryotes such as bacteria and archaea are comparatively smaller and scattered throughout the cytoplasm. Which is makes sense kasi nga maliliit yung mga prokaryotic cell compared to eukaryotic cell, in which in turn yung ribosomes naman sa mga eukaryotes are comparatively larger and occurring freely in the cytoplasm, and take note of this, they are they occur attached or they are attached to the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Right, so this time around, let's proceed to the plasma membrane, which provides a boundary between a cell and the extracellular environment. Other functions include membrane transport, cell signaling, and cell adhesion. Okay, breakdown. Yung plasma membrane natin, o yung cell membrane natin, para siyang gate, door, at wall. Bakit? Kasi, like a wall, no, which provides protection, covering, and boundary between the inside of the house and the outside of the house. Ganon din yung ginagawa ng plasma membrane. Okay? So, loob ng cell, also known as intracellular area, at yung labas ng cell, yung extracellular area. Okay? So, protected yan ng plasma membrane, yung cell. Okay? And the plasma membrane is made up of a phospholipid bilayer. Gawa sa protein at lipids or fats. Okay? Na merong heads at tail na magkabila ang layer. Kaya ang tinawag na bilayer. Ngayon, ano naman yung membrane transport, cell signaling, at cell adhesion. So, unahin muna natin yung cell adhesion. Ano? So, yung cell adhesion, no, or the proteins in the plasma membranes of adjacent cell holds the cell together. From the word adhesion, dinidikit. Okay? Yung mga proteins sa plasma membrane, they hold the surrounding cells together. Like a glue sticking a paper to another paper. Next, membrane transport. Okay, so in membrane transport, proteins in the plasma membrane allow the transport of substances in and out of the cell. So yung mga proteins, may mga channel yan o parang pinto na kung saan makakapasok at makakalabas ang mga materials in and out of the cell. Also, the plasma membrane is a semi-permeable membrane, which means sa in layman's term, juicy. Kasi nga, hindi lahat ng mga bagay nakakapasok at nakakalabas sa plasma membrane. Lastly, cell signaling or an extracellular signal binds to a receptor in the plasma membrane that activates a signal transduction pathway leading to a cellular response. Ganito lang yan, ano? So, yung insulin. Insulin serves as a key para makapasok yung glucose sa loob ng cell. Okay? So, nagsisend ng signal outside the cell at bubuksan ng insulin yung cell membrane para makapasok yung glucose at makakain yung cell natin. Ganon yung nangyayari kapag ka ikaw ay pagkatas mong kumain ng sugar. The effect, of course, is you are on a sugar rush or hyper. Alright, so this time around, we are now at the eukaryotic cell structure. So as you can see here, this is a side-by-side comparison between an animal cell and a plant cell, which are both prokaryotes. Now, the organelles. This is what distinguishes eukaryotic cells from prokaryotic cells. Diba? They have through nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. Ano ba yung organelles na yan? Organelles carry out specialized function which is of course designed for the cell to be more efficient and successful, and they are surrounded by a membrane or an enclosement with embedded proteins, many of which are enzymes. So in other words, organelles are protected by a membrane, just like your phone is protected by a casing. Di ba? So, yun yung mga organelles. Now, let's look at the organelles one by one. Starting off with the nucleus or the command center of the cell. I also call nucleus as the master of the cell, the boss of the cell, which houses the DNA. So the nucleus is bounded by the nuclear envelope or a double membrane with openings called nuclear pores. So yung double membrane na to is composed of the inner and the outer membrane. Tapos merong butas or opening called nuclear pores. And the nucleus also contains chromatin or multiple threads of DNA and associated proteins. Pwede mo rin siyang tawagin na uncalled DNA. The nucleus also contains the nucleolus, di ba? Or a region in the nucleus where ribosomal RNA is produced, and this is also the site where rRNA and proteins assemble to form ribosomes. So, nucleus, nuclear envelope, and nucleolus. Simple lang naman yan. Sa DNA, makikita ang, sa nucleus, makikita ang DNA ng mga eukaryotes. Okay? Okay, so in the earlier uh, portions of the video, I said that the nucleus generates or assembles the ribosome, di ba, sa eukaryotes. Well, itong collaboration ng nucleus and ribosome is the process of DNA being transcribed into mRNA and then being translated into a protein occurring in all living cells. And due to its universality, the DNA mRNA protein sequence events is termed as the central dogma or teaching of molecular biology. So, simplihan na lang natin yung process dyan. Ano? So, ganito kasi yon. Sipin nyo na lang, si nucleus ang boss ng cell. At si ribosome, yung kusina o yung nagluluto ng proteins. Tapos, yung protein na yan, okay, i-stack, dadalhin sa ER. So, nagsimula yan when the nucleus, okay, pumasok yung mRNA doon sa nuclear pore at kumuha ng template doon sa DNA. So, pag sinabi nating template, yun yung kopyahan. Okay? Itatranscribe ng mRNA yung corresponding base pairs mula doon sa template. Kung naalala nyo yun, di ba? Adenine pairs up with thymine, cytosine pairs up with guanine. But since RNA nga ito, ang substitute ni thymine is uracil. So, sa RNA, adenine pairs up with uracil. Okay, so, lo and behold, natapos na yung transcription process. Okay, nakakopya na. So, lalabas ang mRNA kasama ng ribosome at magge-generate na, okay, ng signal peptide. Or sabihin na lang nating protein. Okay? So, peptide are chains of protein ha. Tapos, ano mangyayari? Okay, so temporarily, matitigil yung protein synthesis. Okay? Bakit? Kasi, papasok na sa ER yung ribosome na merong laman na protein. Okay? Tapos, pagpasok nila sa ER, yung ribosome at yung protein na yan, ipaprocess or maa-attach si ribosomes dun sa rough ER and ipaprocess further yung mga proteins. Okay? And then, pag lumabas dun sa ER, okay, lalabas sa ER yung ribosomal subunits, maski yung mRNA, they will also break away, but the protein will stay into the ER. In other words, mula DNA, naging mRNA, tapos protein. Okay? So, itong process na to of making proteins through the action of nucleus and ribosome, importante yan. Para saan? Para sa enzymes ng cell natin. Para sa antibodies. For muscular development. For our hair and our nails. And so much more. That's why this process is essential. Okay, so proceed naman tayo sa endomembrane system. So what is the endomembrane system? These are series of interacting organelles between nucleus and plasma membrane. What's their role? To make, modify, and transport protein and lipids for secretion or release or insertion into cell membranes. Not only that, they destroy toxins, recycle waste, and has other specialized function. I want you to imagine for a moment that the endomembrane system is like a business, a booming business inside the cell, composed of the following organelles: the nuclear envelope, the rough endoplasmic reticulum, the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, the Golgi apparatus, the vesicles, and the cell membrane. Okay? So, iisa-isayin natin yan. So, let's dive right in sa endoplasmic reticulum. So, ano ba yung endoplasmic? An organelle for synthesizing and processing molecules. It came from the Greek word endon, which means within, plasma or something molded, as well as the Latin word reticulum or net. So literally, the endoplasmic reticulum is found within the cell and it's something molded, sa itsura pa lang, and it's full of net. Okay. So a network of membranous channels and sac and continues with the outer membrane of the nuclear envelope. May dalawa siyang section, the rough ER and the smooth ER. The rough ER has ribosomes attached to it and the smooth ER has no ribosomes. So ano ba yung function ng endoplasmic reticulum in general? It processes and transports proteins, it synthesizes lipids, and detoxifies some chemicals. So para maalala lang natin, no, the rough endoplasmic reticulum is different from the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Okay? So it's the rough endoplasmic reticulum is studded or filled with ribosomes on one side, and protein synthesized and attached ribosomes pass to interior of ER for folding, modification, and transport. So maraming naka-attach na proteins sa rough endoplasmic reticulum, which makes it rough, mukhang bumpy yung appearance niya dahil sa mga ribosomes containing proteins. Meanwhile, the smooth endoplasmic reticulum connects to the rough ER. Pero sa smooth endoplasmic reticulum or sa SER, wala po ditong proteins. Walang ribosomes na naka-attach dito. So, anong meron dito sa smooth endoplasmic reticulum? It synthesizes lipids and helps detoxify drugs, and it forms vesicles for transport of products to Golgi apparatus. Kung sisimplihan natin ganito. Sa rough ER, dito, pinaprocess, okay? Pinaprocess yung protein. Parang warehouse siya ng protein. Whereas sa smooth endoplasmic reticulum, dito naman sinisynthesize at pinaprocess yung lipids or fats. Kumbaga, quote-unquote, warehouse of lipids and fats. Okay? Aside from that, the smooth ER detoxify drugs. Kaya yung ating liver cell, marami yung smooth ER. Kasi yung atay natin, nililinis yung mga iniinom natin. Okay, next tayo. Golgi apparatus naman, no? Or Golgi complex. The Golgi complex is an organelle for processing, modifying, and packaging molecules. It looks like a stack of flattened sacks near the ER, and its function is to receive vesicles from the ER, also modifies and packages proteins and lipids. I call the Golgi apparatus as the Shenzhen sorting center of the cell or the sorting center of the cell. Bakit? Kasi nga, the Golgi apparatus or the Golgi complex modifies, sorts, and packages proteins and lipids. Para nga doon sa ating business, si nucleus ang boss, ang tagagawa ng protein, si ribosome. Yung mga proteins, ini-stack muna sa RAP ER at pati yung ribosomes na din. Tapos, sa smooth ER, ginagawa yung lipids and sa Golgi apparatus naman, sinusort yung mga proteins at lipids. Okay? Ayan. Alright. Okay, so dire-diretso tayo no, sa lysosomes. Part pa rin to ng endomembrane system. So the lysosomes are membrane-bound vesicles produced by the Golgi apparatus. It contains very low pH and stores powerful hydrolytic digestive enzymes in inactive states. So the lysosomes function as they break down worn out parts of the cell, okay, as well as non-functional organelles. So para ito mga destroyers, okay, they do the dirty work and they're responsible for engulfing foreign invaders or materials that go inside the cell. Now, the peroxisomes, of course, they originate from the endoplasmic reticulum. If lysosomes originate from Golgi apparatus, then peroxisomes originate from the ER. Now, the peroxisomes contain a diverse set of enzymes that allow them to digest many enzyme binding sites, also known as substrates. So, they do the following. They break down toxins as well as fatty acid molecules. They produce cholesterol and other lipid molecules. And they also detoxify the harmful hydrogen peroxide, which is the product of the fatty acid breakdown and breaking it down further into water and oxygen. So si peroxisomes, importante rin siya since siya ang sumisira ng mga basura ng katawan natin, particular na yung mga taba, as well as hydrogen peroxide. Okay? Marami ring peroxisomes yung ating liver cell. Okay? Kaya kailangan, importanteng alagaan ang ating mga atay because too much fat would render the peroxisomes dysfunctional or would even overwhelm the peroxisomes, leading to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease or kapag ikaw naman malakas uminom, alcoholic fatty liver disease. Now, let's move forward to the storage or the fridge of the cell, the vacuoles, na may tatlong klase. We have the central vacuole occurring in plants. It's a large organelle that is designed to store water, the contractile vacuole, and the food vacuole for the protists, which the contractile vacuole contracts to expel water from the cell and controls water content in single-celled organism. Yung food vacuole naman digests the food that the cell engulfs and rids the cell of waste products. Now, the energy-related organelles or the mitochondria. Alam natin to that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Paano siya naging powerhouse of the cell? Kasi nga, it generates ATP energy through the process of cell respiration or aerobic respiration. May dalawa siyang membrane or enclosement, the inner and the outer membrane or the compartments. And it's made up of the mitochondrial matrix and the intermembrane or the inner mitochondrial membrane. At bakit naging powerhouse ang mitochondria? Kasi meron siyang sariling DNA at ribosomes. And kung napapansin nyo, the mitochondria is shaped like a bacteria. Kasi nga, this was thought to be originated from a purple bacteria. And that is, of course, the mitochondria. Okay, so ito namang chloroplast at other plastids. Ito nagbibigay rin ng energy sa mga plants naman. So the plastids are organelles that function in photosynthesis or storage in plants and algae. Diba? May central vacuole na ang mga plants. Meron pa silang plastids. Okay, so ano pa? Chloroplast, a specialized structure for photosynthesis. Also the chromoplasts, which make and store pigments other than chlorophylls. That's why there is a red chlorophyll and a yellow chlorophyll. And a myoplasts, okay, which make and store starch grains. Yung starch, pagkain din ng halaman yun. Alright? So, kung titignan natin yung anatomy ng chloroplast, makikita natin that it is divided by two membranes, the inner and the outer membrane. Also, the chloroplast is found only in plant and algal cells, yung mga lumot. Meron din sa cyanobacteria. So, the chloroplasts are the site of photosynthesis. which reactions that produce carbohydrates. And katulad din ng mitochondria, the chloroplast contain DNA and they likely originated from cyanobacteria na na-engulf ng prehistoric cell. Also, it's bounded by two membrane. Okay, titignan natin to, no? Yung loob ng chloroplast, you can see there stacks of granum, also known as the thylakoids. They look like a stack of pancakes or coins wherein sa thylakoids dito kinakapture yung light energy and in the presence of water, nakakagawa ng ATP and oxygen being the byproduct of the light-independent reaction. Doon naman sa labas ng thylakoid, yung stroma, it's a fluid-filled interior and this is where plants make glucose and store starch as their food supply. Okay, so the chloroplast is the site of photosynthesis, composed of the inner and the outer membrane, the thylakoids, which contain the chlorophyll, and the stroma, which contain the DNA, the enzymes, and the ribosomes. So, cell wall, vacuole, chloroplast. Sabi nga nung kanta, di ba? So, cell wall, vacuole, and chloroplast, these are the organelles that are present in plant cells. Now, how do mitochondria and chloroplast regenerate or nagre-reproduce? Okay, sabi ko nga kanina, di ba, they contain their own genetic material, which is, of course, made up of multiple circular chromosome and a mitochondrial genome and a chloroplast genome, which tend to be larger and have greater number of genes. Paano nagdi-divide yung mitochondria at yung chloroplast? They divide via binary fission, in which nagre-replicate yung genetic material ng mitochondria. Okay. So, itong mitochondria at chloroplast na to, okay, they were engulfed by the prehistoric cell. Alam na natin yan sa endosymbiotic theory. Okay. Last structures, we have the cytoskeleton or the cell skeleton or an interconnected system of many protein filaments. Some are permanent while others are temporary. So, the parts of the cytoskeleton, they reinforce, organize, and move cell structures or even a whole cell. So, ano ba yung cytoskeleton na yan? Para siyang foundation, post, okay, the cornerstone or the support of the cell. They are there for movement, okay, for reinforcement, and to organize the cell as a whole and provide stability. Now, there are three types of fibers comprising the cytoskeleton, namely actin filaments or microfilaments, microtubules, and intermediate filaments. Let's get to know them one by one. So we start first with the actin filaments. Actin, to act or to move. The actin filaments, also known as microfilaments, are responsible for cellular movement, namely contraction, crawling, formation of cellular extension. So that is the function of the actin filaments. Next, we have the microtubules. The microtubules are responsible for organizing the cytoplasm and moving the materials within the cell itself. So yan ang role ni microtubules. And lastly, we have the intermediate filaments which provide structural stability, no, in the cell. So, actin, microtubules, intermediate filaments. That is, of course, the cell's cytoskeleton. So, there you have it, no? And of course, we have the cilia and the flagella, no? An organelle for movement. Okay? So, you have reached, no, the end of the presentation. Watch this video at your own time. So, that's it for today. Thank you and goodbye.